welcome to this episode today. We have Dr. Michel Gagne with us. I'm sure you know who he is. If you don't know, he's a very well-known sports psychologist or mental training consultant. And today we're going to talk about the performance of the athletes at the Olympic Games. And of course, we would like to pay more attention to the Malaysian team. And by the way, thank you so much. I'm going to shake your hand.
My pleasure.
We can use knee, elbow.
We're in Quebec.
Yes.
Distancing is disappearing. Mask is disappearing. We are in open air. Ventilation is no issue. Oxygen is 21% of everything we breathe is full of oxygen. So there is no problem with the CO2 trap in the mask. We have no mask. So it's an healthy environment. And welcome to Quebec. Beautiful Mont-Tremblant region. A lot of greenery around. So oxygen generated nature. 12 months a year. It's evergreen. So welcome to Quebec.
Thank you. I love Quebec. Lots of green here. Lots of green. And thank you for tuning in. And whoever listened there or whoever is watching, thank you for watching this episode. I'm going to say that you're going to learn a lot from here. And let's move on. And what do you think about the performance of the Malaysian athlete at the Olympic Games? So far, we have completed diving. We have completed badminton and so forth. So what do you think about the badminton performance? The Malaysian team won bronze. That's fabulous.
Which is interesting. Bronze with two young players with not much experience internationally.
And also, they were not expected to win, right?
No.
Interesting.
But they reflect what I would say, what these Olympics are. These Olympics are no Olympic. One thing is about the Olympic, records are broken in full stadium with a lot of noise and everything. These Olympics were TV Olympic, virtual Olympic. So these two players have never been into a huge real arena of Olympic. They've been to some international competition in Asia, but to go to the Olympic first time and coming out with a bronze, it's an outstanding achievement. I know them, I've worked with them from 2019-18, I worked with them. They were young, of course. Even one of them, I won't mention the name, a little bit fat, he lost weight, so he really worked out to be there, and they did a fantastic job. I saw their match, they deserve the medal they win. But of course, we noticed that in other events, even individual, our best Malaysian totally collapsed. He played very well, one match, that's it.
Wow.
One thing is missing, and I've talked with several coaches that I know, these Olympics were without the pressure of the Olympic. And we're talking about high performance sport. And the name of the game is performing under pressure. You take off the pressure, you take off the adrenaline rush in the body. Without the crowd, something is missing. Even yesterday, a diver failed his jump, one of the best divers in the world, and he mentioned, no adrenaline. How can I dive? No adrenaline. Yes, the board is there. Yes, it's the Olympic. Yes, it's the final. But I have no adrenaline. What is adrenaline? Is the juice that we have stored in the corticus renal. It's what make tada they didn't have. Just look at Pandalelo, our performance. You know, here in Canada, our broadcasting regard Pandalelo as one of the greatest divers in the history of women diving.
Yeah,
But what she did in the 10-meter, terrible.
Why?
And look at her,
happened?
no smile, worrying, thinking a lot. But I've seen her, it's been 13 years, she's at the international level since her first Olympic medal at a very young age. Of course, first Olympic, you don't know what's going on. You're just there, you enjoy. It's funny. I remember my first time I went to the Olympic in 1972. I was so excited, so adrenaline rushed. I was in the zone even if I don't want. You know, I was in Munich Olympic Stadium, the crowd, and oh my God, I was floating. Took me 3 months to come back to planet Earth. But in Tokyo, I didn't see this. Even a lot of top athletes in many events, look at track and field, look at gymnastics, many top champions collapse. Many even top players decided not to compete. Of course, COVID became the excuse, not the real reason. But many could not perform well. We saw youngsters performing 14, 15 years old in diving, first real international experience. For them, it's like fun, it's joy, pleasure. Just look at the face of the two little Chinese girls. They were so happy.
Wow.
But look at Pandalelo, I didn't see happiness in her face. I don't know what happened after. I hope someone from the Malaysian delegation went to her to help her absorb, what traumatic experience she just lived. I won't be surprised that we're going to hear in the next few months some of the contingent of some countries, there will be an increase in suicidal of athletes. Every Olympic game, athletes kill themselves. But there is an international agreement. The press never talk about it.
Wow.
And we all know that Phelps, who is the greatest athlete ever, 20-something Olympic medal, contemplated suicide at one point in his life. That's why he came out. I hope everybody in Malaysia have saw the movie, The Price of Gold. We put so much emphasis on one moment in life. Mostly in swimming, we're talking a few seconds. In diving, we're talking, 1 second, 2 seconds? This is a dive. 13 years for 3 seconds, 1 second of jump. And it failed, that's it.
Yeah.
Of course, the whole country felt so sorry for her. I'm not sorry for her. She sacrificed 13 years of her life. Now she's 28. Now it's time to take care of her. What future is she facing? She's going back to university at 28. From where she come from in Sarawak?
I think she graduated with a degree, university
Yeah,
degree.
but-
That helps, yes.
But is she mentally prepared to be whatever? She's a diver. She spent her whole life diving. The only thing she knew about life is diving. Now it's time to take care of her. Simone Lee is the same thing.
Maybe train her to be the Olympic
greatest gymnast ever. Who's going to take over, now back in the U.S.? Her whole world has collapsed in one Olympics. The greatest gymnast ever in all history of the Olympic. Totally collapsed. And I would say, thank God she withdrew from the event. She could have injured herself very badly. She saw it at the first jump. It's not working. Lucky she came back for one event. But she gave a chance to another USA gymnast to get a medal. By withdrawing, she gave a chance to a substitute.
Yeah, she's so great. She's very thoughtful, and she knew that she was not going to do well. I think she had that moment where she felt herself.
Something was missing. Something was not there.
Yeah, I think the official, sports officials should understand that if you have never been an athlete, you will never understand. Like I know many officials, they never competed at a high level, but they became official and very important person in the sports management. They tend to ask why, and maybe criticize and maybe give their own, criticism. But I wouldn't say that helps a lot, because if you have never been that level, it's very hard to understand. I know there's certain moment that you could not cope up. It's better to let go and let other teammates take over instead of having injury, right? You know that,
Exactly.
especially gymnastics is very dangerous.
Very dangerous. Diving is very dangerous.
Dangerous, yes.
And they have to realize this. But most people don't realize the danger these athletes are in, because they think it's only an event. No, it's their life. They spend years, many athletes at these Olympics, for the first time in the history of the Olympic, medalists have been there 3 to 4 to 5 Olympic. We're talking 20 years of the life of somebody. The oldest gymnast, 40 years old. Who do gymnastics at 40 years old?
Oh, yeah, I think she is 46.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that lady is showing one thing. The
46,
concept of
yeah.
aging need to be reviewed.
Yeah.
But we realize that, 46 years old, 20 years old, 26 years age difference and experience between a senior athlete and a beginner. And these Olympics were very strange Olympics. A lot of top performers who have succeeded in the past totally collapsed. And the feedback I got from many people, I knew people in 150 countries, so I got a lot of feedback from a lot of people. And many coaches were left home. Many parents were left home. We noticed the US had the parent of the athlete in the stand. How come the Americans have their parent and Malaysian were not allowed to have a coach?
I know, exactly. And in I would say many high performance countries, they always have these parents coming and support their parents. But I'm just very curious, like how come for Malaysian team, the parents are not allowed, or sometimes if you have your personal coach, and maybe personal coaches are not allowed, because you always have to hang on with the so-called national coach, which may have not really trained you as an athlete. So yeah, I wish they maybe send Panda Leila as a parent to come and support her. Maybe that helps more. I think the parental support is actually very important. We should definitely look
But
into
Malaysia is official centered, not parent and athlete centered.
that. Yeah.
So priority to the official. We know the story about track and field. Manager is sent instead of the coach. But during competition, what do you need? The manager or the coach? And now in track and field, they can coach your athlete. I saw this morning the women high jump. Coaches are behind the track where the athletes are competing. I don't see manager talking to the athlete, but I see coaches talking to the athlete, giving advice, move your foot by 3 inches or this or that. So they need an expert in the crucial moment of the performance. And we have to realize the lack of crowd. If you watch track and field this morning, high jump, it's previous athlete who fill up the stand behind the jumpers. Because they know that jumper need energy, they need adrenaline. And even the athletes are clapping, asking the crowd, please make noise.
Yeah.
They need the excitement. What people call pressure, I didn't notice the excitement. I worked years with Nicole David, where other people are nervous and anxious. Nicole David was excited. That's why she became 8-time world champion. She loved the excitement of the competition, of the world competition. But these Olympics in Tokyo, where was the excitement? Because camera show? Because video, virtual reality? Because nice computer analysis of the performance with nice, slow motion movie after the performance? But this is for the spectator. What about the athlete competing? These Olympic Games, I've been involved in Olympics since 1972. Each Olympic, my heart beat like crazy. These Olympics, I felt nothing. What happened with my Olympic spirit that I get in Munich? Every Olympic until Rio, I was, this time flat. When I look at the 100 meter at the grass from Canada, won a medal there. Nice show, the track was illuminated, beautiful laser show. 100 meter track race. This is not track and field. I've been involved in track and field for more than 70 years. All my life I've been in track and field. This was not track and field. This is not what athletes are prepared for. We prepare athletes to compete in front of spectators with the excitement of the performance under pressure. You remove the pressure. Yes, it's a competition, but it is like a real training under camera. It's a show for the press. It's a show for the media, for the advertising. Here in Canada, you probably watch it on TV. We spend more time watching advertising than watching the games.
Yeah.
And they tell you don't copy the broadcasting. It belongs to the Olympic game.
Yeah.
You need a written permission to copy and to reproduce.
If you put it on YouTube, you'll get strike.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's all publicity, advertising. But what about the real spirit of the Olympics? The best athlete in the world competing in front of the world, in front of stadium. Japan has spent billions renovating the 1964 facility. At least they didn't build new one. They renovated the 1964 facilities. But where were the revenue? They fake, making white and whatever color in the stadium, looking that they are people. There was nobody. I've been in Munich Olympic Stadium when it's 7,000 people. I've been in Montreal 1976. When 70,000 people stand up and shout, my God, you vibrating like this, your chest, sound is a vibration.
Yeah.
You remove the crowd, there's no sound. Of course, on TV, we hear the sound because they put artificial sound to reproduce there is a crowd. But the athlete hear nothing. It's an empty stadium. It's like we are here. Peaceful, do we hear birds?
Yeah, I hear birds.
I talk too loud. I chase them.
Okay, so Pandalela, the divers from Malaysia, she won a gold medal at the World Cup, right? Recently, I think in May, World Cup, like you're pretty much a world champion. What do you think, or what happened, or how did she actually ended up ranked, I think 10 or 11 at the final?
12, she finished 12 in the
finished
final.
12, like she finished.
If my memory is good, it's 12.
Wow.
But one thing
do you know why she was like at the World Cup level?
In sports psychology and in
then...
mental training and in international coaches' language, a goal achieved doesn't motivate anymore. Her dream was to be number one. Yes, she became number one in May. It's too close to the Olympic. It's a nervous system. Energy, but when you win, it is release.
Yeah.
Is 3 months enough to recharge? Well, she showed me, probably not. You notice the Chinese were not there.
Yeah.
Why they didn't send them there? Because they are smart.
Yeah, they want to save.
We prepare them for the Olympic, not for the World Cup. What the heck is the World Cup?
Yeah.
It's nothing. But of course, for Malaysian to say Pandalela World Cup champion, yeah. But she blew the Olympics. I'm not saying it's a cause and effect. It could have an impact. But I know in psychology, when you are drained at something, if you release it, it's finished, it's over. A goal achieved doesn't motivate. And that's why many athletes did their best performance. Like in the US track and field, many of the top American athletes didn't win during the competition. But they beat their personal best and American record during qualification. And the qualification were too close to the Olympics. So the Americans should blame themselves why we had so few medals in track. Why you do your qualification so close to the Olympic?
Yeah, I realized that many sports, they did their qualifying Olympic games or matches very near to the Olympic game,
Yes.
like few weeks before. I know in taekwondo swim team, they did their swim trial, Olympic trial in June. In June they did the trial, and then they compete in July, like the earliest one. That's 1 month preparation. I don't think it's enough. I don't think
It is not smart.
Yeah.
It's like early peaking. You know, there is a science called planning and periodization.
Early picking, yeah.
After a peak, you need a transition period.
Yeah,
If you
a
try to
peak,
maintain the peak
you
for
have to-
too long,
before you go up.
it doesn't happen. Because after a peak,
You
it
can
has
see
to
that,
go
you
down.
up, you go release, and then in order to go up again, you have to take a break a little bit, and then move, and then you go
You
up
need a
again.
period of time in it.
Yeah.
Transition,
Otherwise,
recovery,
you
it's
go
another
up.
preparation.
It's very hard to up. You have to go down a little bit and before you go up.
But I would say, from what I see, it was missing in the athlete preparation. Forgetting the aspect of these games without a crowd. What will be the impact on the athlete? I know in Canada we were concerned with this. And that's why you notice that in Radio Canada, athletes from Canada compete. Their parents were not there, but they organized with Canadian Broadcasting that the
Yes.
family at a gathering in the backyard,
on the
everybody was there,
online,
so that
yes.
the athlete can see on the tablet, you see your family is there, your friend, your parents,
It's so cool.
and they could talk to
I think
them.
Malaysian team should have that. When the athletes are competing, you have the parents can see them online.
And in Canada, we organize it. It was organized by Canadian Broadcasting Corporation.
Yeah.
They pay the bill, they send their crew there, and they get sure that it was live during the competition.
Yeah.
So that our Canadian athlete can talk to their parents during the competition.
I know, especially the swim team. Yeah,
Yes.
they did.
And the swimmer. And if we talk about Canada for a while, the success of these Olympic Games for Canada, thanks to women. These games were the women game for the Canada.
Yeah, why? Why the Canadian women?
It's been 20 years that Canadian women, Canadian athletes are fighting for equal rights.
Yeah.
Are even fighting against coaches who are too rude on them. Preparing a female is not like preparing a male. They're different. And Canadian women are led by Canadian chief de mission. Was a man or a woman?
Perfect.
Women.
Yeah.
And
Canadian chief the mission. Yeah, it's a woman, also Olympian.
and it's been many games since the Olympic game of Vancouver. It's always women Olympic athletes who are chief de mission, and we prepare them. Chief de mission this game was the assistant chief de mission previous game. We always have a succession plan.
Wow, plan ahead of time.
But in Malaysia, we go with politics. We go with the flavor of the day.
Yeah, who's the chief the mission for Malaysian team this time?
Tatao.
Oh,
Because this time, like I told you, my spirit of the game was out. I left Malaysia in April 2020, and I've been disconnected for 15 months from Malaysia. I follow the athlete, but I don't follow the politics scene of the National Association or the Olympic Committee. My last work was with the Thomas Cup team in badminton, and I worked with Z for about 3 months. And I was not expecting him to win too much, putting him carrying the flag. Wait for him to deliver. Most country, it's only athletes who have delivered who can carry the flag. He has not delivered. Why you make them so high profile? You know, the excitement, you walk in a stadium, you walk in Barcelona. When you walk in the stadium, how do you feel? Just like a spectator running out, or you feel,
I feel so proud. Recently I watched back and someone posted the opening ceremony for 1992. I watched myself. I was like waving. Hey,
yes, I saw it
waving.
on your Facebook. You say, I saw myself.
Yeah.
And of
At
course,
that time I was like,
you remember it
Happy
revived all the memories. And it's not here, it's here. It's in the body, it's in the body cell. 30 trillions of cells have been activated. But you put a guy who is a contender for the gold medal to carry the flag. How do you think he feels that his name is announced as the flag bearer? You should put an athlete who have delivered, not a one who is in preparation to deliver. And I know this guy is a very shy guy. He's a great player, he has great potential, but he's a shy guy. You put him in such a high profile suddenly. And of course, he's been in all the media in Malaysia, all the Facebook. The whole country send up Facebook messages, good luck, we support you, we're all with you. So what? Give him a chance to prove. He has not proven anything yet. I'm so happy for the pair. These two young guys, nobody knew them mostly.
Yeah.
And they were not the best pair in Malaysia. There are other pairs that we left behind. Why we left behind the silver medalist of Barcelona? And not Barcelona, but from Rio. We won a silver medal. Why they were not on the squad?
Why?
Don't ask me. Because I will reveal things that I know since I work with BAM. Why you choose two young players instead of bringing back silver medalists who could have been there to fight for the gold? They know already what it is to be. But they left them at home. Why? I have my opinion, but I'm not here to give my opinion on certain sensitive issues.
Well, that way also help to train new people, right?
And it's good. And
Yeah.
I'm so happy that these two young men get a bronze.
Yeah.
They outshine everyone.
Yeah, they prove people wrong, which is good.
Yeah.
Something that we should learn from it. And I feel that for chef division in Malaysia, I have not seen any chef division. The Malaysian chef division are actually or were actually Olympian.
Not yet.
Yeah.
But now you have a Malaysian Association of Athletes with Nora Sheila. So you have previous athletes, Jeffrey Young, that are coming on the scene. But will the official move back to let them take the lead?
I think they should. I think
Well, in
it's
Canada, we
good
started
chance.
many years ago.
Yeah.
But look at the result. Look at the women.
I think the athlete should be given the chance to be the leader and should be the chef de mission, especially for Olympic Games. Like what I meant is, for Olympic Games, they should have a chef de mission that competed at the Olympics before, and for SEA Games, they should have a chef de mission that competed and won a gold medal at the SEA Games. You know, it depending on the level. If the Asian Games, they should have picked someone chef de mission that won a medal or hopefully gold medal at the Asian Games. So that way they show role model, right? The chef mission is also an athlete, former athlete, but they are a symbol of a model, a role model for all the athletes. That I think that should be a good start.
What has been the strategy of Canada for many years. To be a role model to an athlete at major competition,
Yeah.
you have to know what it is to be involved in it, to have been under the pressure of performing at it.
Yeah.
And if you've been a medal winner, you know what it is from beginning to the stage of going on the podium, getting your medal. At least you can share experience, not knowledge. You don't read this in books.
Yeah, I think many times, just from my personal experience, the official may think that the athlete are just athlete. They are like, athlete is here, the officials are here. Maybe the athlete will not look up, will not given the chance to be up there, and they always think that athlete like have no competition. Or I mean, normally they perceive athlete that are good in sports, they may not good in management. I don't think that's true. For my personal experience, if the athlete can achieve certain gold medals, level status, whatever high level performance, in my personal opinion, that athlete tends to be really smart, and not many people look at that. If athlete can win gold medal, which means they're actually really smart, because you need smartness, not only like strong body, mentally strong, but you have to know like strategy, how to plan ahead, what to plan, what to say, and what to think and what not to think. I think that comes into smartness, like a thinker athlete, and this athlete should be given a chance to lead. I know many officials think that I'm better in management, I'm better, because I have an education, I have blah blah blah. But nowadays many athletes have the real education. They should be given the chance to be in the management team. I think they will be a good leader. they becomes a very good
I think the
leaders.
transition is slowly coming because there is a saying now more in the international mental training community. You don't think performance, you feel performance.
Yeah.
It's your body. It's not the thinking brain that performs. It's the human body. 30 trillions of cells, 600 muscle, 300 bones. This is what performs. Not the brain. It's the body. It's a feeling. It's a sensation. It's a multi-sensory experience. And who has experienced this? Previous athletes. You have previous athletes who've been to Olympic Games before. And they can be fantastic motivator. And even Nicole David has retired.
Right. She could
What
be
about
chef de
Nicole being
mission.
chef de mission?
Exactly. She could be the
8-time
chef
world
de
champion.
mission.
She know what it is to be on top of the world for 8 times. 10 years plus as number 1 in the world.
Yes, exactly.
She know what it is to be under pressure.
I don't think politicians should be the chef de mission. I'm sorry about it, but I think the chef de mission is someone who also an athlete or were an athlete and competed and won certain medals, and yeah, they should be the chef de mission. And this has to.
Well, us in Canada, we learned it in 1976. I was involved in the Olympic game. I was organizer. I was part of the organizing committee, and we developed an approach with. You study with Dr. Terry Hawley.
Yeah.
He wrote a book called "Every Kid Can Win."
Right.
And since the 76, we came up with an approach centered on the athlete. No more the coach or the official. The athlete is the center point.
Exactly. I always believe that every kid can win. It's like every kid can learn. So since I have kids, and I always believe my kids can learn, and I believe every kid can learn. So I didn't agree when the school gave the kids like a D or a fail. It doesn't reflect on their ability. It actually reflects on the teacher's ability to teach them. Because if you don't know how to teach them, that's why they get failing. They get D. They get.
They didn't fail. The teacher failed to teach them.
Exactly. It was the teacher who failed to teach them. That's why they get. In fact, the teacher who failed to teach the kids, that teacher give the kids a failing marks like C and D. It doesn't. I don't think that reflects on the kids' ability. It just shows that the teachers, do not know how to teach.
Yes.
Yeah. Good teachers always believe that the kids can learn. Same thing similarly to athlete. Athlete can learn. Athlete can do anything they dream of. Yeah.
Yes.
I do believe that. So I think it's good. It's a good start for the Malaysian team to consider former athlete to be the chef de mission.
Well, it's time we rely on athletes' experience. To be the best, you have to learn from the best. Who's the best? The one who has been there. The one who watched from the outside as a spectator or as an official. I've been official in the pole vault in 1976 Olympic Games. I was training pole vaulter. None of my athletes became a champion. But me, I move all around. I was working for the International Athletic Federation for 15 years as a consultant in developing countries. Because I've been through it. I've experienced what it is to be under the pressure. And from being in Munich, I'm in Munich during the hostage situation. Do you know what it is to be inside of the village, having a coffee with your friend from the French team, and you saw the special armed squad entering because they're in a hostage situation with the Palestinian and the Israeli. So of course I knew what it is. And in 1976, I'm manager of training venue. So most athletes don't realize that during the practice, there is sniper in the stand, ready to shoot at will, ask question after. Can you imagine the pressure I was? I'm manager training venue. The athletes are training in my facility. My staff is there, and I know where the snipers are, but I cannot tell because security is so tight. Can you imagine how it was in Japan? Closing the stadium was the best thing for the Japanese to save money on security. Because to enter, you had to be accredited to be in the place. But how come the Americans were able to bring the parents?
Exactly. It's kind of.
They paid.
Fair. Oh.
Come on, they have to pay.
Yeah.
The Japanese would say, no. We were very clear. Only athlete and official and coaches can enter. How come the Americans had their parents?
They pay. Who pay? The parents pay the Olympic Committee or the.
Somebody paid a bill somewhere. Because parents should not be there. Why they were there? Somebody paid a bill. How much? I don't know. Canadian parent, Canada have decided we keep them at home. We organize a backyard and we bring the TV, the whole family, everybody around, and we can show it live to the athlete during the competition.
Yeah.
This was Canada's strategy.
That's good.
Because we didn't want it to start a battle with the Japanese organizing committee. Canadians have a tendency to follow the rule. So the rule was no parent, but how can we get the parent in contact with the athlete?
Exactly.
This is the strategy of Canada.
But the Malaysian team, none of the parents are there, right?
Tatao, I don't know.
Yeah, I wish the Malaysian team also organize online event for them to connect with their kids.
I'm
bring
sure
their parents
before
with
or
them
after,
to the
yes.
Olympic Games.
But during the game itself, I don't know. Here in Canada is what exactly during the time of the competition.
Right.
The parents were watching and the parents were cheering. And if athletes of Canada won, we were seeing the Canadian crowd cheering like they were there. They were not there. But at least there was an immediate connection between the close one. Because the biggest fear of athlete at the Olympic is to go back home after failure. Poor Pandalela, how does she feel now going back to Malaysia?
I wonder, is she working with sports psychology? Who is her mental training or sports psychology?
I left in February 2019, so I don't know. I'm sure there is somebody, but somebody with experience. Here we're talking psychotic, probably behavior or whatever. Many people don't realize that top athletes are dangerous to themselves. Why do we need to take care of them? Because they will do anything for a moment of glory. Why athletes cheat? Why they take drugs? Because for one moment of glory, they can take the risk to kill themselves. We have to protect them. And of course, Michael Phelps did a marvelous movie, The Price of Gold. People wake up. You think we are just puppet in the swimming pool. We're humans. And he's married with children, coming out of the Olympic after winning 20-something gold medal.
Right.
But his life was destroyed. He was not a human anymore. People don't realize what it is to go to the grocery store like normal people. You've been for 20 years at top of the world, flying, and living in 5-star hotel. You should ask Nicole David what it is after being 8-time world champion, what it is to be normal person. You have to go to buy your grocery yourself. It's coming from cloud 9 to the ground.
Yeah.
And people don't realize how difficult it is. I remember after Munich, took me 3 months to come back to the ground. And I was not competing. I was an observation delegation preparing 1976 Olympic. Just me. But when I came back, I had athlete I was working with. And of course, all that energy I passed to my athlete. And it took few years, we started having medals. And then it became a mushrooming of medal. It's a disease. It's not here. It's not a thing. You don't think performance. You feel it. It's energy.
Yeah, I can talk more about that. When you're up there and suddenly especially if you retire, you became like a normal person. You still have to go to grocery, you still have to cook, but when you were an athlete, you don't cook. There's no time for you to cook. You always eat prepared food.
And at MSN and ISN, we have canteen food is prepared for them.
I mean,
doctor, masseur, physiotherapist. We have ice bath. We have jacuzzi. We pamper them like crazy, but when you go back to normal life, none of this. It all disappears in one night.
Yeah. I think the athlete, we need to support the athlete, especially if they go through transition, especially transition from losing to back to normal, or transition from being a top and retire from the top and then retire, become a normal person. Not many people understand that. It's actually very hard to take it, especially for me when I came here to Canada, especially nobody knows me. And I told myself, it's okay. I actually wanted to be normal. And when I started working, I told nobody about my background. Of course, the management knew, because during the interview they asked me, right? They are always very impressed with my history. But then during the workplace environment, I have never ever mentioned about that I won this, I have this education, blah blah blah. When they found out indirectly, they always say, Sarah, why didn't you tell me? Oh my goodness, I've been working with an Olympian. I say, it has nothing to do with my job. Being an Olympian doesn't really give me promotion.
But you're a good Malaysian, you're a humble person.
Yeah, I wanted to feel how it's to be like a normal person, right? In my opinion, it's a good training. It's a very good training. Once the athlete retire, it's not easy to come down to the ground, to the floor, instead of floating there. But I think it's good to take one step at a time. It's good for mental health as well. You have to realize that when you become humble, it doesn't mean that you are losing your value. You're still value up there, but you want to try to be like the normal person, how it feels to be like normal person, so that you can help other people to overcome it, to cope with it. Otherwise, if you're always up there and then suddenly you're up there, when people don't talk nice to you, especially like you were in champion and people, you're so stupid or you're so not good, it's like, I don't think so, but
already the language you use, I read newspaper after Pandalela performance.
Yeah.
Some newspapermen even talk about failure.
I know.
She didn't fail. You have to understand. They remove the pressure from the game. She's a pressured athlete. She's good when there is pressure. You remove the pressure. It is not the same competition. It's still a 10-meter dive.
Yeah.
But something is missing. Another athlete from other country, and Simone Lee, I'm happy because she was the world famous when she decided, I stop. How many people in the US, she says she's a quitter. She's not a quitter. She's a survivor. She say, I'm risking my life here. My mental health is more important. So I can imagine the nightmare she was going through. All the thought, the negative thought. Maybe one day she will speak like Michael Phelps finally opened the book. How he was going through as a father and everything. People say, oh, this guy should be on Sky, forever. 20 medal, thinking and talking about suicide. Many athletes think about it because it's a disgrace. The whole focus of your country is on you. Suddenly you go back home and they wait for you at the KLIA. You push your trolley and the camera, blah, 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 and they push the flag and Negaraku, blah, 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 blah. But I'm a failure. What are you doing? Do you know what it is to me now to come back home? It's a disgrace. I would like to hide myself.
Yeah, it's not easy to handle. If you don't know how to handle it.
But look what we do with politicians. When they do something wrong, they never come out by the front door. They always have a back door for the VIP. Do we ask the athlete, do you want to come from the front door with the press? Or would you prefer something else? Did we ever ask athlete in Malaysia, what would you prefer? We never ask athlete what they prefer. We impose them. We know better. What about the athletes? I have worked for 30 years with Malaysian athletes, including you. I talk with a lot of athletes, and a lot of athletes were put in situations that they would prefer not to be in. Like in your case, they put you in the weight category. This was not your weight category. But somebody smart says that, oh, Sarah, heavyweight, if we put her in a lower category, she will win. No, they understand nothing.
Yeah, I have never competed in that category.
Exactly, they don't understand nothing. It's a different body shape. All your bodily sensation and emotion are with the body shape. Suddenly you change your body shape. You don't recognize yourself. Something is different. I'm lighter. My body, my nervous system is pre-programmed with a certain body. You change my body. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
They never learned since 1992.
Yeah, one of the things that talk about the transition for athlete. For me, I transitioned from a champion, for example, and I came to Canada. I didn't contact with anyone actually. I kept very low profile. I didn't even have social media account, and people was looking for me. Only suddenly I appear on social media because I was running to be a city councillor. That was four years ago, and that was the time people found me. Say, "Oh, Sarah, yeah, here you are." Okay, I didn't tell my story about it. I purposely did not want to have social media. I purposely did not want anyone to recognize me.
That's good. You isolated yourself to prepare yourself for your new life.
Yes.
Now you're starting your new career. You're going to retire. And now you're going to start your new career as a master coach. You're doing online education and promoting fitness and health through Taekwondo and everything. No, you took years to prepare yourself. It didn't happen in 1 year.
No, I actually purposely did not want people to find me. People say, "Hey, where is Sarah? Sarah is missing." People were trying to find me and they could not find me, and they always ask my uncle, "Hey, uncle, my personal coach, now he had passed away," and they always find out about me from my uncle, from my family. Other than that, no one knows me. What I was doing in Canada, right? Of course, they knew that I came here for study, but other than that, because I did not want to have social media account, I did not want to have Facebook, any other thing. No one could find me. I actually purposely did that. The reason why is like I transitioned my life to be an athlete. I was an athlete. Now I wanted to have a new life. I wanted to try to build something that belongs to me, Sarah Chung, but not athlete, non-athlete Sarah Chung, because I want to feel it. I want to feel how to be normal, like the normal people. I want to be like other people, like they start from zero and they climb up. The reason why I didn't want people to give me any benefits just because an Olympian. I know sometimes because you're Olympian, who you know, you get certain benefits, but I wanted to feel really wanted to feel how it was like to be a regular person and start from zero. And I try to detach myself from champion.
But one thing you bring with you is all that experience of working hard.
Yeah.
Trial and error until it improves and getting better and better and better.
Yes, it is. At workplace, I try not to tell about my background, and then when I found out that, of course, they are nicer to me, I would say. Of course, people say that I should I should acknowledge that. But it's just me that I feel that I want people to feel me as a Sarah Chung, as a person, not as a champion. Because when people perceive me as a champion, they always think that I have a certain values, but if I don't meet that certain value, I'm not become a champion anymore. I just want to be like human.
You don't need their approval.
Yeah, exactly.
You just need to self-approve yourself.
Yeah.
Satisfied with the work you do, and that's it, your contribution.
Yeah, so at the workplace, I try to be like others. When others are doing really well in work, I try to learn from them. They are so good in work, maybe I can be that too. I don't want people to think that because I'm a champion, I get the the free ride. Yeah. That's how I was thinking, and I'm glad when I did that. Now when I look back, even though at that time people were trying to look for me and they're like, oh, Sarah Chung, where are you? What did you do? I just felt that I felt the pressure when I was there, and I said, okay, I don't want any pressure. I just want to be normal people. Yeah, when I was in Sabah at that time, I could say I was quite well known. As you say, I came from jungle. My parents did not have a car to drive me around. I always take bus, even though I was already champion, even
so
Asian
you were never
champion.
pampered like a superstar?
No, I was never pampered as a superstar. I always take bus to training, right? So every time I jump on the bus, many people knows me. Like, hi Sarah, what are you doing? Hi Sarah, like, okay, I'm like you. I'm taking the bus, Okay, I'm paid the ticket. Yeah, I'm actually glad for that. For me, I'm really grateful to my University Pertanian Malaysia. I used to take buses to train to Kuala Lumpur, now from Sudan to Kuala Lumpur to train. And after I won the SEA Games and also the Asian Gold, especially SEA Games, they started to give me more opportunity, and the registrar, the people up there, they call me in. They say, oh, we can help you. Anything you want, we can have a driver. It became
prestige for the university to have you.
Yeah, that was my first time. They actually provided me with a driver. I was like, wow. So after in the morning, I trained myself. I went out, and 6 o'clock I woke up at 5:30, and then I did my personal training at 6 o'clock. Then I went to school, university. After university, the universities provided me a special driver, and that driver drive me all the way to Kuala Lumpur to train, and then drive me back to my campus.
So you were lucky to have that service.
Yes, I was really lucky to have that service, and that's helped me to do well. I actually did well in my Asian Championship, and after that my in Singapore SEA Games. Singapore SEA Games was 1993. Yeah, after that I came to Canada after that. So yeah, I was able to maintain my fitness and all that. One of the reasons was that I was provided a driver by the University Pertanian Malaysia's registrar office. I forgot the name, but I'm really thankful for that. And
after that, when you moved to Canada, you started working with one of my best friends, Dr. Terry Alder.
Yes.
So at least you learned from the best in sports psychology in Canada and in the world at that time.
Yeah, and because during my school time at University Pertanian Malaysia, now University Putra Malaysia, I spoke to my professors. None of them have given me any special exemption from submitting my assignment a little bit late.
So you have to follow all the students.
Yes. When I asked them, say, Sarah, it's your choice. You want to be an athlete?
Because I remember this was one of the debates we had together at the time. You study or you train.
Yeah,
and
because I was not given
I want both. And
yeah.
I told you, I remember at that time, 80% of Canadian athletes at that time were all university students. How come Malaysia student cannot be top athlete?
Yeah.
In Canada, all the Olympic team is university students.
Yeah.
And how many times we hear that we have athletes who are doctor, master degree, and they're still athletes. But this is how we believe. The concept of big muscle, no brain, this is the 1950s.
Yeah, at that time I was not given any benefits. But because of my time, after my time, now I read that like Panalela, Renault, and many athletes.
Now they have changed.
They changed.
At least university is open to take them, and they do part-time. They will do a degree in 1 or 2 more extra years.
Exactly, but for my time, no. For my time,
your time was not there.
Was not there, but I'm actually really grateful.
Because I remember at the time they were against you doing both.
Yeah, they were against me because they said that if you wanted to be an athlete, and you also want to be study, you have to know how to manage your time. That's I'm actually very thankful that pushed me to really manage my time.
This is what
really
athletes are great in time management.
Yeah,
they can manage a long hour of training and long hour of study.
Yeah, I remember.
And perform under pressure in sport and in exam.
Exactly. I remember after my very tiring training, I went back to my campus. I still needed to submit my assignment on time. So I stayed very late, try to finish my assignment and then went back to sleep. That's how actually I started to develop some medical condition that I didn't know. I worked really hard in my studies. Because I told myself I wanted to go further my studies. I wanted to do my master's degree. That's why I told myself I make sure I maintain my student grade so that I can continue my studies. That is why I work really hard in my studies so that I can maintain my grade, do my master and PhD later on. I make sure I do well in my sports because I want to win gold in the certain championships. But because of that pressure, I started to feel that my body was shaking. Yeah, I was like
under pressure for too long.
Yeah, I
you
feel
need
like
a break.
After training, I didn't take shower. I went straight to class, and sometimes my best friend would say, "Sarah, you smell. Can you put on perfume? I know that you work very hard for training. You just came from gym, and then now you came from your class, but you sat beside me, you smell." I still remember that. But I worked really hard until I feel like my hand was shaking. And one time I was eating, and then my friend like shaking. Say, "What happened to me? What happened to me?" And
you could have reached a nervous breakdown.
Yeah, I worked really hard, and
that's pushing very hard, too hard.
Yeah, that's how I started. I think at that time that was my breakdown, maybe that I didn't know. That's how after that I really felt that I started to feel tired all the time, or I gain weight easily without eating much. I only found out that in Canada, like after coming to Canada, and I told myself, how come I gain weight even though I don't eat much, and how come I feel cold all the time. I went to see my family doctor, like doctors, the health services at the campus, university campus have the health services. I went to see doctor. She said you should go for blood test, and that's how I found out that I have hypothyroidism. And hypothyroidism at that time, I asked him like what causes that, and he said we don't know, it just happened. Okay,
it's a lymphatic system disbalance. Lack of balance.
At that time I'm sure he didn't know, because at that time it was 1994. Only after like around year 2000, it's 1998 and after, they started to have the research. The research paper just came out and said that when you are overtraining and under eating, you will develop hypothyroidism. Yeah.
And it affects your immune system, so you become weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker.
Yeah, when I was shaking, I didn't tell anybody because I didn't want my coaches to know, and they may kick me out. Sometimes they did you out. So what I meant is, generally, athletes are really smart. If they can win a competition, they're actually really smart if you know how to prepare them well in a workplace. I'm sure Pendarella, she's going to do well in the workplace or in life if she get all the support that she supposed to have.
And that's a crucial point going back. Will she continue training? Will she quit? And whatever it is, I would say, Malaysian, don't leave her alone. Take care of her. Appoint a mentor with her, follow her. And I would say there is a young swimmer from Malaysia, Nurul Huda Abdullah.
Oh yeah.
I remember 1990 in Beijing, it was a collapse of her career as a swimmer. Nobody took care of her after a failure in Beijing. She came back with the Singapore team. Nurul, take care of Pandalela, please. You know what it is. You've been through it. Somebody with experience need to work with her. And it's not a place for a beginner. You need experienced people. It's a traumatic situation. I don't know how she live it. I just watch her on TV. It was so sad to see no sparkle in her eyes and no smile in her face. Even one dive, I think if I remember well, she even touched the platform with her feet. Total failure, technically speaking. Not Pandalelo Renong, one of the best divers in the world. Here in Canada, everybody talk about Pandalelo like a queen of diving. And in Canada, they don't understand what happened to her. What happened to her? And like I say, in Malaysia, tatao lang. I'm not close to her. I haven't worked with her. I know her. I met her here and there with other people, but never had a one-on-one with her, so I don't know her. I don't know what happened with her.
I felt that she's a very close person. She doesn't open up too much.
Yes.
The reason why I actually met her, I went to support her at the FIFA World Cup in Windsor. That was a few years ago. I took a picture with her and I exchanged email with her, and she always said pray for me, but she didn't even, she preferred to say pray for me. Okay, they say pray for me, but she doesn't really open up the real reason.
She's a shy person.
Yeah.
Me, I saw her many times at ISN, very isolated, going to the gym, doing her thing. She very disciplined athlete.
Yeah.
Very doing what is required from her. But you don't see any engagement personally what's going on in her life. So I really don't know about her. I never had the chance to chat with her or whatever.
Yeah. I
But
think
it was
she
not
needs
fun
open
to
up.
watch her on TV.
Yeah.
And in the double already it started very bad. I think that the pair, they finished 11. They didn't do well. Synchronization was not there. Speed was not there. So already there I was wondering what will happen in the final. And I was sharing with other Malaysian about it. They asked me, what do you think she's going to do? I say, well, I'm afraid of peak early. I think that sending her to World Cup was too early peaking in the season,
I
too
think
close
so.
to the
I think
Olympics.
she should maybe, but it's already passed. Maybe she picked too early. But at the same time, when I saw her for the first jump, I already saw maybe she had some injury, her back, all kinds of
Well,
taping.
she had a lot of tape in her back and everything.
Yeah.
I'm sure she was in pain. Because
Yeah.
I saw the jump also. She blew the competition at the first jump.
Yeah. I think she had injury that she didn't really deal with.
Because many of her jump, it's either she was rotating too fast or too slow, not opening at the right time. So, of course, I won't pretend to be a diving expert.
Yeah. So what do you think about biorhythm? Because people say you pick too early. Is that related to biorhythm?
Well, from what I know, biorhythm is not new. It goes back to the 1960s. And it was basically developed by union of steward in the plane. Because the steward in the plane, they traveled for hours, stop, change plane, and come back. So they started negotiating time for break. And this is where the concept of time zone came in and jet lag. For every time zone, 1 day of recovery. And it was negotiation. But after that, it went out of the steward business. It touched everybody who was a frequent traveler. I traveled for 4 years all around the world. I never suffered jet lag. Me, from I know with jet lag, it's all blazed on the blue. The melatonin inside our body regulated by the color blue. We need blue therapy, blue bedroom, blue relaxation room, blue swimming pool. We need blue. Me, I know in Canada when it's gray, my energy is low. Give me blue like today. Wow. Semangat, you say in Malaysia. Semangat. Tatenaga, semangat.
Yeah.
And the blue sky regulate our biorhythm. Of course, a lot of people will say, no, there's a lot of research. Yeah, research based on negotiation of a union who negotiate for the steward to have days off in the traveling instead of taking the plane the next day. But I know people who travel for business for years. They don't know jet lag. They arrive, they leave, they arrive at 4 in the morning. They go back for a meeting at 9 o'clock like nothing happened. And the next day they take the plane and they come back. I know one guy do 16 CT in 3 weeks. Every day, bye. Take one plane, arrive in one place, drop the luggage in hotel, take a shower, get ready for the event. At night, pack the luggage, go to airport, take the plane, go to another place. 16, one after the other one, jet lag. What the heck is it? Don't have time for jet lag in my business. It's a mindset. It's an attitude. Mind over matter, we always say. We have to realize one thing. It's all based on sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. If you know how to balance your yin-yang, your negative and positive force, Canon Lee in Chinese, your water and your fire, you balance yourself. Of course, it's a mental skill. But you can help. Many athletes that I know, many people, businessmen, they travel with blue bulb. So when they arrive in a hotel room, they change the bulb of the lamp. They put blue light. Why blue light? Because we need the blue to regulate the homeostatic system of the body. So the biochemistry, the body is a pharmacy. The body is a natural pharmacy. But we have to realize we are reacting to light and sound. So there is sound that can assist. But a lot of it is a mindset. Many people have been brainwashed. You need 7-8 hours of sleep. We say that. I sleep 3-4 hours a day. I'm always up in the middle of the night. Why? Because I don't need to sleep. It's a waste of time. We're not born to sleep all the time. Most people, 1/3 of their life is spent sleeping. What a waste. You're alive, live. And most of the top people I knew, I learned this in the early 70s by the mayor of Montreal. He was in his 60s, he was sleeping 4 hours a day. Every morning he was going to the city hall in Montreal, 6 in the morning before any employee, and he was leaving the office after everybody have left. He slept 4 hours a day. And I learned this, I'm 22 years old, and he's my boss. If my boss at 60 plus can sleep 4 hours a day, I have to learn it. That's what he told me most important is quiet your mind. Calm. Everybody talk about stress. We discussed about this some time ago. Stress is in the body. It's a reaction of the body to situation or events. Jet lag is a situation. I travel many time zones in few hours. It's a situation. How does my body react to that? But if I put in my mind for every time zone I need 1 day of recovery, I'm in trouble because I believe in it. And I have a tendency, if I believe, it happens. But I know people who don't believe in it. They say, I arrive at 4 in the morning, I have a meeting at 9, I'm at meeting at 9, and I cannot tell to people, oh, I just landed at 4 o'clock this morning. Sorry, you're at the meeting, my friend. It's a business meeting, it's a sales meeting, or it's a presentation. You have to be performing under pressure, lack of sleep. What is sleeping? The body is a self-regenerating. Body doesn't need to sleep. The brain need to sleep. The brain need to go to delta brain frequency once a night. It takes 90 minutes. So how many 90 minutes of nap can I take in a day? The best people I know, they will nap 2, 3, 4 times in a day. But they never have 7 hours of sleep. What a waste of time. So they will go for a short nap, then they come back. Go for a short nap, then come back. So they have cycles. And these people mostly don't sleep and always underperform. They perform under pressure. And jet lag, they don't know. Jet lag is a waste of money and a waste of time. And I know so many people in the last 50 years that have been moving. I'm surrounded by these crazy nuts who travel a lot, who sleep little. And even the Russian have found it long time ago. More you sleep, less you perform. And even they were training Yuri Gagarin to go in space. The first space astronaut from Russia was sleeping about 4 hours a day. The pressure of going first man in space. But he was practicing this. But it was the 1960s. And because it's Russian, the Western world don't know about it. How do I know? Well, 1998, Malaysia had a lot of Russian coaches. I have learned from them that Russia was ahead in science, many years ahead of everybody. Not only because of drugs, because they understand the human body.
Exactly, yeah. Wow. Well, that's good to know. That's good to know.
And I work, it's one of the skills I teach athletes. Traveling skill, how to travel. And it's like anything else. It's a skill you need to organize, but most people are organized by other people. They don't know themselves. They let somebody organize their life.
Yeah.
The athletes I work with, it's your body, it's your responsibility to prepare yourself. Stop blaming others if you fail. Yeah. Blame yourself. Exactly. Don't blame them. You failed because of you. You put your confidence in other people. Wrong. Take responsibility of what happened to you. And of course, how many like me there is around that town? I don't know. I know in Canada we are not that many. I'm the old school, going back the time of Terry Ollick, the time you studied at University of Ottawa. Now Terry is retired and is late 70s, early 80s, and no more involved athlete with athlete preparation.
Yeah, I think he has retired. Many coaches, many professors have retired.
I still work with one guy from Sweden, Dr. Lasse Kunestel. Now he's 85. But he's still very actively involved, and he still do mental training and everything, but not with athlete anymore. It's too demanding.
Yeah.
But at 85, he deserves a break.
Good to know. So what do you think about the cycling?
Well, cycling, I think we're going to see today. I think the final is today in the Korean. Until now, nothing really happened.
Is it the same athlete that won the medal at the last Olympic Games?
Azizul, I think Azizul, yes.
Yeah, okay, the same athlete.
But I think Azizul is today. That's why we're going to catch up later on TV. But I know Azizul was today.
What is the Malaysian team expectation for this Olympic Games?
Well, I know during the time I was in Malaysia, everybody say now he's a contender for medal. Like Pandalela, after his previous good results, World Kirin and everything, he should be a contender for medal. We're going to see what's going to happen today. And then we'll see the debrief, what he will say about his experience. Will he get a medal or not? But one thing is sure, physically speaking, yes, he is one of the top Korean sprinter in the world. But will he be able to deliver in a stadium that is empty? I don't know. Other athletes succeed, but many top athletes don't.
Wow. They rely on the
We saw it in gymnastics, we saw it in track and field. So many top athletes failed to win a medal this time. In diving, we saw it.
Oh yeah, in swimming too.
Swimming also. Canada, we're lucky. Our best swimmer, 16 years old. The Chinese, 14, 15 years old diving. We saw the new skateboard competition, 13, 14-year-old kid.
Right.
So those who don't know what it is under pressure, they were lucky. These games were no pressure. So they were more relaxed. They didn't have to face the crowd and everything. So it was game for the beginners. And senior athlete who normally should have not been there, but so many athletes who should have been retired went back again. So these games were very funny. A lot of old athletes and a lot of beginners.
Yeah. Wow. So we're going to end here. What is your advice for the athlete for Malaysia? What is your advice for all the athletes in Malaysia?
Well, you're lucky. You're in one of the rare countries in the world who put so much money and expertise and facility for preparing athletes. I remember 1989 when I went there was nothing. We did very well 1998 Commonwealth Game with no facility. Bukit Jalil was available after the Commonwealth Game, but Malaysia did very well. 4th placing, 10 gold medal. Without facility, now you have everything. You have one of the best equipped sports science facility in the world, the best technology, the best equipment. But do you have the right people to run it? Do you have the experienced people who can transfer this to the athlete? Now you have the infrastructure. You're better equipped than Canada. In Canada, we don't have a Bukit Jalil. Canadian athlete train in their own town.
Yeah.
We had one girl from a small town, Rimouski in Quebec. She won a gold medal in weightlifting. Where did she train? In the garage in her house.
Right.
No gym, no nothing. But she wanted to go to the Olympic. She trained by herself. And she won a gold medal. So maybe do you have that will to win? Because you're lucky you have amongst the best facility. And thanks to MSN and ISN, they do everything to offer you the best available in the world. Not only in Malaysia, in the world. Me, I've been here. I would like to send Canadian athletes to train in Malaysia. You have more service than we offer them here. Many Canadian athletes, because of the confinement, and Canadian athletes, Canada's second largest country in the world, are all around the country. When you want to have a team training, impossible during COVID.
Yeah, actually, Canada,
they were all isolated.
Yeah, actually, as far as I know, Canada do not have the centralized training.
No, we don't have this. We cannot afford this. The country is too large. Plus, we have French-speaking, English-speaking, and you've been in Canada long enough.
Yeah.
East Coast doesn't think like the prairies, doesn't think like BC.
Yeah, they think
different mindset because the country is like 10 countries in one piece of land. Second largest country in the world. But it takes 4 hours by plane to cross the country.
Yeah, it's actually, when I look back, Malaysian athletes are very lucky, in my opinion, because you have the best facilities, one of the best facilities in the world. You have the best sports scientists or sports science department, I would say.
Yeah.
But whether we have the best person to run it, I don't know. But I want to let you know that the Malaysian team always have this centralized training. You know, centralized training takes a lot of resources, money. You know, you need the planning, you need the resources. For me, I love centralized training. That's the best moment where we get together, we feel the team spirit and all that. Yeah, so I feel that Malaysian athletes are very lucky. I think you guys should make use of it. But just for my personal observation, we always prepare athlete to have the mental training. We always prepare athlete to have the mental toughness. In my personal observation, I think the coaches need that too. Many times the coaches know how to talk, but when they come to competition, many of them, they have not competed at that high level. They may know how to talk maybe from the book, you know, maybe from listening to so many conferences, but when it comes to real applicable situation, they may not able to help athletes.
They never felt it themselves.
Yeah, for example, there are many examples. Just a recent example for the Panallela Renong's divers from Malaysia. I felt that I don't think that, just from my personal observation, I don't think she's close with her diving coach. I don't feel that, and I did not see the coach talk to her or try to help her to overcome her negativity, because after the first jump she showed her emotion, she showed her negative emotion, she even showed her negative body language. She was shooting her head like this, and this one is like negative body language. So in competition, especially in sports psychology, I learned that if you want to be a champion, you have to act like a champion. You have to fake it until you make it, or to fake it until you become one. Even though you did a mistake, you have to fake it that, mistake is just a lesson. I'm going to come back really strong. I'm going to double the point, something like that. You don't show your negative emotion. You don't show your head. You just pretend that I'm still good. I'm still the best. I'm still the best champion. Yeah, that kind of very detailed techniques. I don't know how many coaches apply that. I just feel that maybe the coaches need to take some mental training. That's my personal opinion.
Totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Well, I remember when I came in the late 80s, we had mental training camps for the coaches and the manager. Then we started these camps 1989 for SEA Games. And after that, we have from 1998, we have these Binasimangat camp, which is mental toughness.
Oh, I love that. I love the centralized training camp.
But these kind of camp have disappeared because many people were saying it's too tough. This is not military.
No, I love that training. That
most of the athletes loved it.
Oh, we love it.
There was a lot of criticism to abolish this, because during that time we were working with the.
That's why we won the best team.
Yes.
1989, Malaysia was the best team for the whole Asia SEA Games.
But who was in charge of the camp? Commando military group. So it was discipline, performing under pressure, and the best soldier in the world are commando trained people.
Yeah, we were like. I remember every time we went out to train, even close by, like from our
centralized camp, we had marching all around the field.
Yeah, every like marching, left, right. We go to the foot, okay, stop, like that. Okay, eat. We eat. After eating, we marching. Go back to to our room. It was so much fun. I love that. But we won, right? Yeah, the best. We won the most gold that year, 1989.
2001 was the culmination. We won the first time in KL. And then after that, 2017, of course. Malaysian can be good, but they need to be prepared as a group. Malaysian is a collective. Like in Canada, we don't do that. We prepare sport by sport.
Yeah.
We don't have contingent. Malaysia, you have the benefit of putting everybody together.
I feel that if Canada has that centralized training, I think Canada is going to do even better.
But that's why this time it's incredible, and it's all the women who bring the medal.
Yeah.
Very few men bring medals for Canada this year.
Only the track and field.
It's all the girls. Why the girls? 20 years preparation. The girls are dreaming of being better than the guy. They had a will here. Of course, it's a feminist country. Female right, very important. Equality with the men. And they are proving it at these Olympics. They fight very hard. And finally, we won the gold in football. Canada is not a football country.
No.
We play football 4 months a year.
Yeah.
But we won the gold against Sweden. Sweden is a world-class team. Canada never. But these girls work like crazy. We had young player, 20 years old, and 40-something. Sinclair was 40-something, the captain.
38?
40 plus.
40 plus.
And all her life, a great player, but you don't have a team with one player. You need a team.
Right.
It took 20 years to assemble a team that won the gold medal at Tokyo.
Amazing, like Canada do not have this summer season, but soccer or football they play the whole year round. But Canada
They play in gymnasium here.
Yeah.
Here we play futsal.
Yeah.
And now how to win the Olympic in football. But these girls show it. The will to win was so strong. The desire to win. And the girl who scored the last goal, 20 years old, a beginner, a young player, very promising for the future of women football in this country. But here we give chance and we listen to athletes.
Yeah.
And even if coach are too rough with the athlete, we blame the coach. We protect the athlete against the coach. We protect the athlete against the official. Like in gymnastics in US, the doctor who abused how many hundreds of gymnasts?
Yeah.
He's in jail now for how many years? It's time we protect the athlete. We take care of them. And we have to realize many of them put their mental health under risk. They sacrifice everything for one brief moment of glory. And if the glory is not there, we treat them like nothing. Like Padelila was a queen before she came to Tokyo. Now she was going back home.
I don't know how she felt.
Head on between the shoulder, I don't know. Me, I would say don't leave her alone. And I would say, if Nurul is listening, Nurul, take care of Pandalelo. You know what it is. I was there in 1990. I witnessed what happened to you. Get sure nothing happened like this to Pandalelo.
Yeah, make sure you take care of the divers, the Pandalela. It's not easy to take that defeat.
She deserves. She's a role model for the whole young women generation of Malaysia.
Yeah, I think Sarawak's built the sports complex and named after her. That's really good. Yeah.
But she sacrificed. She's been away from family and everything. During the COVID time, she could not go back home. Could not even go back to see her parents.
Wow.
Could not even go back to church. She's a Christian. Could not go back to church on Sunday because of COVID, confinement.
Wow.
She could not practice her religion, could not go back home to see her parents completely because of COVID, isolation,
Yeah,
curfew.
I think that plays an
So
important
people
role.
have to realize she went through a tough time since March last year.
Yeah.
And when I saw what she did, I would say, well, something was not there. I cannot pinpoint what it is. But I hope that somebody will take the time to debrief with her. Don't tell her what happened. Let her say what happened.
Yeah.
She's
That's
the one who had
true.
the feeling, the sensation. She's the one who can tell us, like you say, after her first dive. She knew she blew it. But what was going on inside her?
Yeah, she can actually overcome it by doing certain techniques, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I work with post-traumatic people in the military and police. And we have special program for them. You need to release these emotions. And I'm not aware that there is anybody at ISN with such skill and knowledge. She needs special people with post-traumatic, because what happened is a traumatic event.
Right.
Being World Cup champion,
And became
ending up like this,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Something went
It's
wrong.
actually very hard.
Like Simone Lee, the same thing, but Simone, already the US team, I put a psychiatrist with her. Not a psychologist, a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Because
It
they
is.
don't want her to end up suiciding herself.
Right. Yeah, I know. When you are always up there and you were trained to be a champion, you were trained to be up there, and suddenly if you did not meet that target or you did not meet that people's expectation, because your whole value is based on people's expectation and people's judgment and about your gold medal status. If you did not meet that, your whole value will collapse.
Yeah.
That's why it is important to build your values not on people's expectation. It's more on your personal value as a person. And I think he needs to be more open up to talk more about it, because the more you talk, the more the thing will come out. And sometimes actions bring clarity. You have to do something. You have to speak it out. You have to do action. The more action you do, the more action you express or word that you express. I think you get more clarity in your mind.
Yeah, she need an emotional release.
Yeah, she needs to talk about it for sure. She needs to have some people that she trusts, and she talk about it. Even bad thing, if even thing that she think that is bad, she has to talk about it. and then she can get the release out. Otherwise, it's always inside her. She may not able to cope it, and who knows. That's
and everybody
my
should
opinion.
learn from it.
Yeah.
And Malaysia, well, built on what you have now, you have the infrastructure, you have the young staff, give them experience and knowledge, and things will just get better. If you were able in 89 and 98 to achieve such result with nothing, now that you have everything, it's time to use effectively what you have. And you have amongst the best in the world. Use it properly, smartly, and best result will come eventually.
Yeah, and also Malaysians athletes are lucky in a way that they get many sponsorship from the government, a lot of funding. Not in Canada. Most athletes here in Canada, they pay themselves. Their family have to raise funds for themselves, for their athletes, for their kids, right? It's not easy. That's why I don't agree. If you want to represent even your province, you have to pay your own trip, like to pay your own hotel, pay your own food, pay your own air ticket. So
they even pay their uniform.
Yeah, they pay their uniform. So I think Malaysian athletes are very lucky if you are in that boat. So make sure you make use of all the resources in Malaysia and really make use of it. And, by the way, I want to talk about 1989 sports camp. I love that moment because during that moment, all athletes were given a chance, and I like the commander at the front, like, which athlete want to go up and lead everyone for exercise? I was always the one, me! And I went out, and then I always like, okay, look, exercise. I was the one like, and then at the end, and that actually boosts my confidence. At the end, all athletes have to vote. Who is your favorite athlete, right? I was voted. I won a big basket full of gifts. Yeah, I won the.
Do you remember the name of our camp commander?
He passed away.
Yeah, Rahim King.
Yeah, Rahim. Oh my goodness, he was the one who organized it. He was the one. Which athlete would like to come and lead? And I was the one, me. And I always like da 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 da. And then when it comes to singing competition, I was like, okay, let's go singing competition. I sang, and I won that place. But the whole experience really trained the athlete. I felt that the whole camp gave me so much confidence. And they give the athlete the opportunity to shine, right? Otherwise, the athlete always will put in a special like training moment, always train, and go home and eat. You just listen, what the coaches say, yeah, yes ma'am, yes sir, and then we didn't get the chance to like express ourselves. And that was my moment. I really, really miss Rahim, and I like him so much. He is so understanding.
That's why after 1998, these camps finished.
He passed away because of a heart attack.
Yeah, I know him. He was a very good friend for many, many years.
Oh,
and
so
you remember the name of the camp? It was Bina Samangat.
Oh yeah,
that's
exactly.
why me as a Canadian, Samangat. What is Samangat?
Yeah, Malay.
Me, I know energy, but Samangat is a Malay term that now here we are surrounded by Samangat. With Rahim, I remember we were waking up early in the morning to look at the trees. Look at the aura, look at the energy field around the trees.
He was
Listen
the
to
one,
the bird.
Rahim is the one. He was the one who actually nominated me for the AMN, for the Majestic King of Malaysia's award.
Yeah.
He was the one who nominated me for AMN, like Halimangkun Negara. One level up is KMN, and then one level up it will be the Datuk. So I'm actually 2 level up before Datuk. So he was so understanding, and then when I heard that he passed away because of heart attack, I was like, wow.
But he was Special Armed Force. He was a SEAL trained in the U.S.
No wonder.
So that's why
so good.
I had a lot of discussion in planning this camp with him. How much are we using too much military? And like marching, many people say athletes are not soldiers, but like you say, in '89 in the stadium, the Malaysian contingent was so beautiful.
I know, we sing, and yeah, like for us, for Malaysian team to out of 14, 16 out of 16 gold medal, we won 10. Malaysian team won 10
Yes,
medal.
I remember. This was one of the best years for Taekwondo.
The best year was the best year.
But anyway, this was a long time gone, unfortunately. But this is one thing. Now I'm back in Canada, and I've already discussed with hopefully the future mayor of Montreal to bring back these camps in Montreal.
They should have the camp, because I like the athletic camp when all the camp came together. That's why, because of the camp, I make friends with athletes from all kinds of sports. Until now, I still have friends from fencing. Lim Teng Piao, he migrated to Australia. We connected through Instagram. From fencing, from archery, from karate, and we were so close.
Do you know where I learned about these camps? 1987, on my way to observation of Seoul Olympic Games, I met a Buddhist monk in Seoul, Korea.
Oh,
All the Korean contingent from 1988 Asian Game, where all go Olympic Game 1988, were doing these camps.
no
And
wonder.
there was a contest in Korea. All the athletes from all the sport, they had a mountain to climb. From the little gymnast to the big, muscle weightlifter, and who arrived last on the top of the hill is dead. Because we know South Korean, you've been there in Taekwondo,
Yeah.
are they rough with the athlete? They put you in a box, if you put 1 foot out, bang.
Yeah, they're very rough.
Very rough.
Okay.
Because
We
it's
got hit
survival,
on
it's
the
a
bum.
country at war.
We got hit on the bum.
Yeah, they
with a
prepare their
stick.
people to survive under a war situation. And that's why for me, I learned this. Wow, I learned a lot when I went in 1987 to the Korean. I was there in observation representing Canada, preparation for the Olympic Game 1988. I was there a year before going to Malaysia. And that's why when I met Rahim, we discussed about camp. And I shared with him what I have learned in Korea. Korea, the special, no distinction of sports. All together, individual, collective sport. You are an army. Your body is a weapon. So you have to use your weapon to maximum. So if we are attacked by South Korea, you must be ready to win,
Yeah.
not to die, to survive.
Yeah, the
And
army
I
training
remember
was
they were
really
doing
good.
that race. It was a mountain, and it was like all the athletes from all the sport, on the whistle, last one arrived is dead.
I know Rahim
Korean
is so
are very,
good.
but Rahim,
Yeah.
I like him because he was a commando. And during those, I don't know if you came, we went to the commando training camp in Malacca. So we were using the commando training camp. So during that time, 89, some sport, we went commando training. But after that, many associations were disagreeing with this military approach. Me,
No,
I love
was-
it
I love
because
it.
this
Yeah,
was,
it was the best.
I work with sniper. Sniper, I have only one bullet to kill. If they miss, they're dead.
Yeah.
Very focused, very concentrated, long time attention, very focused, and this is what Rahim bring with these camps among them.
Well, thank you so much for this wonderful sharing. If you like this sharing, make sure you share with your friends and coaches and athletes. If you're close to Penalela Diverse, make sure you share with her about this video. And remember to click like or subscribe so that you won't miss any of the next content. Okay, and make sure you take care and always stay fit mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and socially or spiritually. Bye. Have confidence within you.